All right. Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Let me just make sure. All right, perfect. Getting here into the group. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys, to another weekly live show. Really excited to be here with you guys. I'm just making sure I'm in here, making sure everyone can hear and see me. Say hello as you join. Let me know you're here. Say hi in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know. And I'm just going to pull this up, make sure I have my live chat going. Hello, everyone. Okay. Looks like we're going. How is everyone doing? Where are you tuning in from? Is this your first time tuning in to one of our live shows? We do these every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So lots and lots of fun. If this is your first time tuning in, let me know. Just say first time here in the chat. If you've been with us for a little bit and you've been following these, that's awesome. Welcome back. We're happy to have you. Just want to give everyone a second to start popping in, let Facebook kind of populate and let everyone know we are here. We are live. We're ready to go. Okay, I think we're doing pretty good here. Let me just go ahead. Give me 1 second while you guys are jumping in and finding us. Say hello. In the chat. Today, I'm going to walk you guys through. I've got the board out, guys, so you know it's a big deal. I'm actually going to walk you guys through 3 stackable sales systems. This is for any stage, any age of business. So if you are a new entrepreneur, this is for you. If you are a multiple 6-figure entrepreneur, this is for you. If you are a 7-figure entrepreneur, this is for you. This is for you no matter what. So say hi. I've just got chats pulled up everywhere. We just gave you guys a tag to let you know we're here. We're going to get started. I have a lot of great stuff to share with you guys today. I'm going to walk you through these 3 systems. We're going to have a replay here. So if you need the replay, just comment replay below. We will make sure we get it to you. Okay. So say hi as you're joining so that I know you're here, so that we can come and give love in the comments after. Okay. I want to walk you guys through 3 stackable sales systems. And what I'm excited about with this is, a lot of people think, growing a business, it's complicated. There's a whole lot of things to it. Right. But honestly, guys, at the end of the day, there's only really so many things that we need to have, right? Number one, you need an audience, right? Number one, we need to have an audience. If you don't have an audience, you have nobody to sell to, right? So that's not complicated. There's over 1 billion people on social media. We can find a few hundred that want to work with you, right? So number one, we need to have an audience, right? Number 2, you need to build trust and you need to bridge the gap with that audience. And we are not spelling correctly today, right? You need to build trust and bridge the gap. What does that mean? That means that people need to trust you that you can solve their problem. That's it. It doesn't mean you need to have a fantastic gorgeous home. It doesn't mean that you need to have an overflowing bank account. It doesn't mean that you need to have professional photos on the Eiffel Tower. It means that you need to be able to effectively communicate what it is that you solve for these people here. That is all you need, right? And then you need to sell a solution. We can all do that. We can all wake up every day and sell a solution, right? You can sell. So you need an audience. You need to build trust and bridge the gap with that audience, and you need to sell a solution. Anyone here, say yes in the comments if you can do all 3 of these things. Are you capable? Are you capable, willing, and able to do all 3 of these things? Because this is all it takes, right? I'm going to walk you through the systems to make these things happen today, but we want to decomplicate and we want to simplify what it looks like to grow your business. Because here's the thing, rather you make $500 a month or you make $100,000 a month, you still need to have an ever-growing audience daily. you still need to build trust. And if you have a sales team, guess what your sales team has to do? They have to be a trusted advisor. Your audience needs to look at your team and they need to see them as a trusted advisor, especially if they're building the relationship and selling, right? So no matter what stage or age you're at, you need these three things. Your business is broke if you're not selling, if you're not growing your audience daily, and then if we're not making sure we build trust fast and we bridge the gap and show them that we have what they need. Everyone get that? Does that make sense? And this is, again, $500 a month, or you're making $100,000 a month. Somebody in the business needs to do these three things. And that's why I said this is for any stage or age. Someone in your business has to do these three things. The minute these three things stop, your business, your sales pipeline is going to dry up, right? And that's what I want to walk you guys through. So this makes sense, yeah? Let me know this makes sense. All right, awesome. Hello, Denise. Hello, Jennifer. Good morning. Okay, so we're getting yeses in the chat. Good. Okay, so we're getting this, right? We're picking it up. All right, good. So what I want to do now is I want to walk you guys through, and I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm looking at your chats. I see them. I see you. Thank you so much for commenting. Okay, there's a little glare here, and I apologize, but here's the thing. Comment workbook. If you want the workbook for this, and I'll give you a workbook. You don't have to worry about the glare over here, because I noticed that you might not be able to see everything over on this side. No worries. Comment workbook. We'll get you the workbook. Okay. The most important thing is you listen, because I just want you to take away what we're doing. Okay. All right. So these are the three systems. I'm going to try to be sweet here with colors and switch it up for you guys. Here we have top of funnel. Okay. This is the top. I want you to look at your business like this. Okay. Like it's a triangle, and we have three columns. We have the top of the funnel. We have the middle. Right? We have the middle, okay? And we have the bottom. These are three systems. Every business needs them, okay? Every business needs these. You have the top of the funnel, you have the middle of your funnel, and we have the bottom of the funnel. The question is what's happening within these funnels, right? What's happening? What's going on? Let's break this down. Let's go ahead and break these three systems down so that you understand how you can grow your audience every day. You can build trust rapidly fast, like day one, or your sales team can build trusted advisorship really fast. And you can bridge the gap by showing them, I have the solution that you need. And then we can sell that solution and they will buy it, right? So no matter what stage or age of business you're at, you or your team needs to be doing these three things. And I'm going to plug these into this system right now for you. Who's ready for that? Just comment system, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all three systems here. Awesome. Yes, Denise, Jennifer, we will get you ladies the workbook after. And you guys can go ahead and you guys can fill that out and have it. Perfect. Pop system down there. Great. Let's go. Okay. Top of the system. Okay. Or top of the funnel, guys. This is going to be leads. Oh, and this is a terrible color for you guys. Okay, we're going to do leads here at the top. Okay, so leads. This is where people either do one of two things. They only focus on growing their audience, and it's kind of like all sorts of wide range of people. There's no specific person. It's just like, let's grow the audience and we look at numbers. Okay, so there's numbers and there's quality. You can attract bottom feeders or we can attract high-end clients. We call them in my program champion clients. Either way, we're growing leads, right? We look at this as here. This is your Facebook. It might be Instagram. It could be LinkedIn. Maybe you're on TikTok, okay? Maybe it's YouTube. I don't care, it doesn't matter. This is where we get leads, okay? We funnel leads through these types of social media platforms. And we're growing our audience, right? So you're getting these people from these places and we're pulling them to the top of your funnel. Usually it's, I have a free thing if you want it. Usually it could be Facebook advertising if you're doing that. You might have a free Facebook group and you're inviting people. You might have a free thing that you're giving away, or you're doing a free workshop. Whatever it is, you're using social media to grab humans and plug them in over here to your group or your email list or something like that, right? Now, here's what we recommend to my clients. And once we get through this whole funnel, you're going to see why I recommend this. 20 plus leads per day. You need to grow your audience by a minimum of 20 leads per day. If you're not, this right here gets really dry. We'll talk about it in a second. And here's why. This is what I want to show you guys. Let me see if I can get this to work over here, okay? This is why you need 20 leads. I'm going to show you why you need 20 leads. Pop 20 leads in the comments. You've got to generate 20 leads per day in your business, in your sale, right up here at the top of the funnel. We need 20 leads a day. Type 20 leads a day in the comments if you want to know why you need to have a minimum of 20 leads per day coming in to your ecosystem. And by the way, guys, this is your ecosystem. Top of your funnel is your ecosystem. This is not your sales. This is just your connections, okay? So I want to make sure we understand the difference. This is just your ecosystem. These are not your buyers. These are not your friends. These are not your, this is not your sales database. This is just your ecosystem. 20 leads a day, I'm going to show you, equals 20 leads a day is 100 leads a week, correct? Which equals 1 to 2 sales per week. Average numbers, guys, right here. Average numbers. If you generate 20 leads a day, that's 100 leads a week. Out of 100 leads, 1 to 2 people will buy from you. What does that make you feel when you hear that? Is that like a shock? Are you like, holy cow? Is that a breakthrough for you? Is that an aha moment? Is this like, no way? Like, this is why I'm not generating consistent sales, because I don't have enough leads. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what's coming up when I tell you 100 leads a week is going to generate 1 to 2 sales a week. If you're not doing this, this dries. Where do these sales come from? This dries up. This dries up, right? So we need to have 20 leads. And if you're in the Profitable Entrepreneur Program, ladies, you already know how to do this, right? Because this is a big part of what we teach you. You already know how to get your 20 leads a day. It's easy peasy, but you got to do it every day or this here dries up, right? The other cool thing with 20 leads a day, if you have a Facebook group, is this is going to skyrocket. This is going to skyrocket the engagement in your Facebook. You want to know the number one way to boost engagement in your Facebook group? Grow it by 20 people a day, because 20 brand new people coming in excited and pumped boosts your algorithm and it will pull your old leads right back up. Again, we're not going to get into that, but you need to be looking at 20 leads a day. So here's the thing. You're already doing this, right? You're already on Facebook. You're already on Instagram. You're already on these platforms. You need to get the people from here, to the top of your funnel. Okay? So does that part make sense? Does that part make sense? You need to use the platforms that you're showing up on, the platforms you're creating content on, the platforms that you're putting time and energy in every day. You need to pull out, create content that says, hey, champion client who has this problem that I solve. Pay attention, I got something for you. And then you're going to lead them over here to this to get that something. Does that make sense? That's how we grow this. And your job, when you wake up in the morning, or your sales team, when they wake up in the morning, the first thing is get those 20 leads. Get it done, because you're not going to do it later. You're not going to do it later. If you don't do it first thing, you're not going to do it later, right? Excuses will happen. Number one, 20 leads a day is 100 leads a week, is 1 to 2 sales a week. Who here would love consistently to generate 1 to 2 sales per week? Tell me in the comments, just say 1 to 2 sales per week. Or make it easy, sales. Drop sales in the comment if you would love to generate 1 to 2 sales every single week in your business. So a lot of times, you don't have enough leads to keep up with the amount of sales that you want. Okay, this is the first thing, and as we go through these, you're going to be able to identify where you are. Okay, you're going to identify where is your gap. Where is your gap in your funnel? So number one, if you're not generating enough leads per day, then obviously we're not generating enough sales. So if you're saying, I don't have enough sales, or we don't generate consistent sales, or it goes up and down, or we only generate sales when we launch, or we only generate sales when we do this certain thing, and every other time we have none. Or maybe your sales team is not performing the way that you need them to, so that they're making you money instead of costing you money. So maybe you have a sales team or a social seller, and they don't know how to do this. And so what's happening is you're paying them money and they're not performing. So now they're costing you money. So your profit margins are low because they're costing you money. They're not making you money. Now, if you're a solopreneur and you're doing this yourself, it's costing you money to not do this also, right? Because every week that goes by that we don't do this, we don't have this. So it's costing you your time and you're losing money. Make sense? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. We're going to go on to the second one. Let me know if that is making sense for you guys. I wish I had more colors. I'd love to have colorful markers. Okay, good. This is making sense. All right, so are we ready for the second system? Are we ready for the middle of the funnel? Okay, let's go into this one. This is your profitable sales pipeline. Okay. Now, what's so critical about the middle part of your funnel? The middle part of your funnel, okay, this is content. This is content. It's trust building, right? And it's relationship building. Okay. So what happens here is maybe you are generating leads in your business, okay? Maybe leads is not your problem. Maybe you are generating leads up here in your business, okay? But maybe here you have low engagement, or maybe you have low engagement, right? Maybe you have objections, right? Whatever it is, we're not seeing people come in from here into your sales pipeline where they're consuming content. So here's the thing, guys. When you bring new leads in and you put them into your funnel, so your Facebook group, okay, whatever that looks like for you, here's the thing that we see happen. Here's what you want to have happen. You want these people to be consumers to active participants. Do you guys know the difference? Do you know what the difference is between a consumer and an active participant? Who knows what the difference is? Tell me in the comments if you know the difference between a consumer and an active participant of your Facebook group or your community. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you why you might be bringing in the people, but you're not seeing engagement. You're not seeing people raise their hand. I want to work with you. I want to know how to work with you. Tell me how to work with you. How do I work with you, Ann? What's the next step? Consumers, yeah, Yvonne, you got it, girl. Profitable entrepreneur right there. She knows the deal. Consumers to active participant means when you bring a lead, let's just say into your Facebook group, when you generate a new lead and you bring them into a pipeline, guys, a pipeline is a step-by-step process that you put every lead through the minute they join your group. The minute they enter your email list, the minute they join your Facebook group, boom, there is a step-by-step system that happens. That's a pipeline. And a lot of you don't have this. So you're bringing in leads, but it's all over the place, right? There's no process, there's no system, there's no sales pipeline. To take that person, you need to take this lead, okay? You got to take this lead from consumer, and you need to put them down here, and they need to be active. They need to be a participant. What does that mean? That means they're going to come in, you're going to plug them into this system, they're going to start to binge on your content, okay? Your podcast, your weekly live show, your posts, your free guides, whatever you're given for content, they're going to binge like crazy. That's consuming. They're just consuming. They're learning. Because remember, we have to build trust. We have to build relationships, right? Your content should do that for you. Your content should do 90% of the selling for you, so that after somebody consumes the content, now they jump over here very happily and they become active participants, meaning they go from silently consuming, right, to raise the hand. I want to know about your program. I want to know how to work with you. Yes, and I want to register for your workshop. Yes, and I want your guide. And how do I work with you? What is the next step? And do you have an application? Do you have a page I can look at? What would I need to do to work with you? What is the next step? Now they start silently binging to raising their hand, engaging, commenting, signing up, registering, operating. They start to opt in. They start to fill out applications. They start responding to you in the DMs. They start asking how to work with you. Do you guys see what I'm saying? If you just funnel a bunch of leads and they just sit there like dead people, and you don't do this very strategically, guess what happens? You just have a list of crickets. You just have a list of people, consumers. Or maybe they're not even doing that. Maybe they're doing nothing. Maybe they're not engaging, they're not opening, they're not clicking, they're not watching, they're not talking to you, they're not responding to you. We call that, most of you guys call that crickets, but you created that. That's your fault because you're not doing this. So what I teach my profitable entrepreneurs, that's my paid program. What I teach my profitable entrepreneurs is, how do we get 20 quality champion clients? We want champion clients. We don't want bottom feeders. We want champion clients that invest big money because they want big things, right? That's what we teach our clients. How do we get 20 champion leads per day, so we generate those 1 to 2 sales per week? And then what is this system right here? What is the process? The second this lead enters our community, what happens? Strategically and intentionally, and here's what I'll tell you. My profitable entrepreneurs create 2 to 3 pieces of content per week, and that's it. And that is how we take leads from consumers to active participants, meaning filling out applications, opting into stuff, raising their hand saying, I want information on that. How do I do that? Showing up for their stuff, taking action, engaging. Okay? How many, let me know in the comments, does this make sense? And how many of you, tell me in the chat, do you have consumers or do you have more active which one do you have more of, consumers or do you have active participants? Let me know in the chat where you're at so we know. Where are you? And I like engagement, guys. That gets me pumped up, and I want to give you guys even more when you engage back. So do you have consumers or do you have active participants in your community? Like, which one do you have more of? Drop it in the comments and let me know. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Makes sense? Okay, we've got crickets. We have consumers. We got lots of consumers. We got some crickets going on. Okay, And guys, you're not alone. Most entrepreneurs do not have this. Most entrepreneurs do not have this. And that's why we don't have active participants. Okay, so what happens if we don't have active participants? We probably aren't going to generate sales. All right, now let's talk about the bottom of the funnel, because this is obviously a very important one for most of you, because this is where money happens, right? This is where the money happens. It isn't at the top, guys. We're not selling at the top. We don't sell at the top, and we're not selling in the middle. Make sense? Some of you grab a lead and then you pitch them to death instantly. Or you get a lead and then you throw them here somewhere and you pitch, right? We're not selling here and we're not selling here, right? Because we have to do this over here. No one's buying from someone that looks like they don't know what they're doing. No one is buying from someone they don't know, like, and trust, not in today's industry. In today's buyer's market, you're not getting those sales if you don't have this going on, which is what happens here. You got to do this first. So your leads need to fall and drop down into each funnel. They need to go from here and then drop down here, and then we need them to drop down here. Does this make sense? Let me know if this makes sense in the comments. Do you guys get this? Is this making sense? Look at all this wild writing here on the board, guys. Good thing you're following along. If you're just tuning in, you're probably really confused. Right. Yes, Jennifer, no pitching immediately. And in fact, we don't extend an invitation to work with us until we've qualified a buyer. And we're going to talk about that right now, because this is not where we're selling either. We're not selling here either. Makes a lot of sense. Gorgeous. Good. Perfect. Thank you, Angela. Caroline, yes, makes sense. Suzanne, makes sense. Denise, awesome. All right, ladies, you guys are crushing. Okay, let's talk about this middle funnel, because this is important to you guys, because it's where the money, it's where these 1 to 2 sales happen. But like, how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, I want to take you guys back to this up here, social media. The way that most people sell, and I see this at multiple 7 figures. So this is across the board. The way that most entrepreneurs sell, or the way they have their social sellers selling, right, is this right here. Social media. Go find people on social media, pull them into a DM conversation and sell to them. Has anybody ever been taught that strategy? Do you guys do that? Anyone do that? You go look at social media, you open up Facebook, you open up Instagram, you open up LinkedIn, and you look for people to sell to? Who does that? Give me a hand raise, or say me. Say me in the comments if that's how you sell right now. You open up platforms, or maybe you've been taught this. You open up social media, your browsers, and you look and say, who is a buyer today? Who could I sell to today? Who's doing that? Anybody doing that? Yep, been taught it, but don't do it. Yep. Open up Facebook, open up LinkedIn, open up your Instagram. Go find people you can sell to. Okay, guys, listen. That is a no-go in my programs. We are not doing that. That is so bad. If you're being taught that, unfollow that person. Or if you're invested in someone like that, you got to rethink this. This is bad strategy. It's terrible sales. It's very tasteless. Okay, we're not doing that. Here's what you need to do. Database. You build a sales database. Yeah, it's very inauthentic, Angela. Yeah, Jennifer said, I used to do that. I did that before I knew better. Yeah. Hey, we've all done that. I've done that years ago. I did that years ago. Sucks, right? Sucks to do it. And it sucks to be on the receiving end of it. It's disgusting. So now you're in a pickle, right? It's like, well, shit, how do we sell? How do we sell, Ann? Well, all these people you're bringing here and you're plugging them into this. Now you need to build a database. This is your sales pipeline. This is where the money happens. Right here. Those 1 to 2 sales, they come from this right here. If you don't have a database and you operate from this, you're probably not doing this, right? Probably not getting very many sales. This is hustle. This is hustle. I'm not a hustle person. I like to do things from authenticity and integrity. And I don't convince. I'm not going to convince you why you need to work with me or that you should or why my stuff works. I'm not going to negotiate. I'm not going to convince. I'm not going to negotiate. And I'm not going to get you to do anything. That's not my job. And guess what? That's not your job. Your job isn't to get anybody to do anything. Your job isn't to convince them or negotiate with them or walk them through why they should see the value in what you do. That's not your job. Your job, did we already write this somewhere? Oh, we did earlier, we erased it. Your job, guys, maybe we need like a bigger board. Here, we'll put it right here. You guys can see this? Here's your job. Sell solutions. Okay, sell solutions, but it goes further. To people actively looking for them. What does that mean? That means you should never be in a sales conversation with somebody, and you should never be selling anything to a single human being unless they have already been qualified and said, I have that problem and I would like to talk about how you can help me solve it. If you're not hearing those words, you have not done this. You have not built a trusted relationship, and you have not, right? You have not built trusted relationship, and you haven't bridged the gap so that they can see you have what they need. Just because you love your offer, just because your offer is awesome, and just because you create a lot of content and you work really hard, it doesn't create the money. We have a lot of people working hard and they're flat broke, right? We have a lot of people who work really, really hard and they don't make any money. We have a lot of people who put out phenomenal content, lots of it a day, and they don't make any money. We have a lot of people that operate from great integrity, and they're very genuine, and they're amazing people, and they don't make any money. The buyer's market, they want one thing. They want a solution to their problem. If you're not building a database, I'm going to talk about the database in a minute, but if you're not building a database, then you are what I call blanket selling. And blanket selling is when you create an offer that you like and that you think people want, and then you go pitch it to the whole, you go pitch it right here. You go pitch it to everybody, everyone. And then we do this. We sit back and we twiddle our thumbs and we wait. Because what more can you do? You put out so much content, you've posted it everywhere. Now we wait. That's what we call blanket selling. And it's a no-go because it doesn't work. You might get one sale every few months by doing that. And it's not even a champion client. Okay? We are selling solutions, but we're selling it to people actively already in the market, where they're saying, they look at this content you create and they say, I would like that. I need that. I want to know more about that. How do I learn more about that? And now we pull them into a database and we have the conversation. So let me show you what happens in a database, okay? I'm going to show you what you need to be doing in a database. Okay? So a database consists of three things. Hot. This is terrible, guys. I'm going to have to erase stuff. Okay? I'm going to have to erase stuff because I need you to be able to see what we're doing here. Okay. Let's do this. Okay? It doesn't matter. We'll give you guys the workbook. Comment workbook if you want the workbook. Okay. Look, here's what we need. Okay? Your database is hot leads, warm leads, and cold leads. Call it whatever you want. But these people are qualified. Okay? These people are qualified. What does that mean? It means you put them into a piece of content they said they wanted. Don't give content to people who don't ask for it or don't want it. Because if you give someone content around something that they don't care about, they're going to stop checking out your stuff because they're going to think that you don't have what they need. This is where you need to have a process for how do we take a lead and bring them in, and how do we get data where they're telling us what they want. If you watched last week's live show, guys, if you watched last week's live show here in the group, the replay is here. Guess what I walk you through? This right here. I literally pull up my screen and I show you exactly how we qualify leads and get data, so I know what piece of content to give them, so that I know exactly how to move them into my database. Okay? Again, every week we walk you through the process. So hot. This means qualified. So you put them into a piece of content they said they wanted, that they said would be helpful. Okay? And then that's a little bit of trust building, but then you start building relationships. So guess what? You give them a piece of content and then you follow up. And you say, I'm going to pull someone's name. I'm just going to say, I'm going to pick on somebody here. I'm going to say Caroline. Caroline, I gave you this DM guide because you said you wanted help with your DMs a couple days ago. I want to check in. What were your takeaways from that content or from that guide? What's the number one thing you're gonna implement right away? And then Caroline is going to come back and say, oh my God, Anne. And then she's going to give me feedback. And we're going to go from there. We're going to see where that goes. Is it another piece of content? Is it, we're going to get on a call and we're going to talk about how I can help her implement that into her program or into her system? We don't know, right? But we're going to figure it out. And we're going to move her through a database. You're going to pull a lead from cold to warm to hot. Some of your audience are going to come in hot right out of the gate, right? Like they're coming in ready to know how to work with you right away. Others, most are coming in cold and warm, okay? So if they're hot, you don't put them in hot unless they're qualified. Qualified means you know who they are. They're this person. They are a champion client that you built relationship and trust with. And they want this solution that you offer. You've qualified. That's a whole system. Qualifying is a whole system. If you are just going here and you're like looking at browsers in the morning when you start your day, and you're like, where are my sales? Where are my sales coming from? Who could I sell to? You're going to be in big trouble right here. This is a system, okay? And so now you're going to bring them in here. Once they're qualified, they're hot. That means every week you're having a conversation and building even more trust until they're ready to buy. Okay? There's no selling until they're ready to buy. Warm is you're qualifying. Okay? This means they probably joined your group, answered your entry questions, gave you a little bit of what they're interested in, what they want help with, or what free resource they might want. That gives you a little information, but you haven't qualified them as this yet. And you have no freaking clue if they have the problem you solve. Just because, let's say that, okay, so here's the thing. I help my clients make money. I'm a sales coach, right? I help you build scalable sales systems to get you to 7 figures and beyond. That's what I do. But that doesn't mean that everybody that comes into my group or on my email list or accepts my friend request or whatever, that doesn't mean that everybody I'm connected with wants what I sell. How do I figure that out? So I maximize my time and I maximize my energy. How do I figure this out? How do I look at all these people and find these people who want this? How do I do that? It's right here. It's these two systems right here. This is just growing your audience. You could be broke and have 200,000 people. I have 7-figure, multiple million-dollar clients who have 200,000 to 500,000 people in a Facebook group, and they're not making money from that Facebook group. I don't care how many leads you have. If they're not these people and you're not doing this so that we can qualify, there's none of this happening, and I can guarantee it. There's none of this happening, okay? So here we're qualifying. You can't just give them a piece of content and say, have a good day, and then sit back and be like, well, why haven't they purchased? How come they didn't reach back out and buy from me? They read my content. That's not sales, guys, okay? So you need a database where you have people's names under these categories. You have people's names, and you're tracking. You have their data, you have their pain points, their goals, their desires, their kids' names. You have their buy-in timeline. You have their objections. You know these leads, and you're moving them from cold. So this is like a new lead that doesn't even know you. Okay, that's this person right here, top of funnel. They don't know you, so they're not doing this yet, guys. And they're probably not even actively engaging. They're just probably consuming really quietly because they're cold. Your job, not their job, your job is to bring them from cold to warm to hot. And then from here, we need to bring them from, remember, we're taking them from a consumer to an active participant to a buyer, so a new client. Does this make sense? Tell me in the comments if this makes sense, guys. Are we getting this? Does this make sense to you guys? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you're getting this, if you understand this chaos. It looks chaotic on here, but this is a very simple 3-step system, right? Does it make sense? Right? So we're bringing leads at the top of the funnel. These are not buyers yet. All the people of the internet, all the people of the internet are just people of the internet. They are not buyers. They're not even consumers. They're just connections. It's people of the internet. It's your ecosystem. You need to grow it by 20 quality leads per day. So you have to have clear messaging. You have to know who your people are. You got to know who your champion clients are, right? You got to know who are the quality people, right? That I want to plug into this. And I want to plug into this because this right here, this database, this is where 90% of your day is spent. If you have a social seller, this is all they do right here. They work this database. They work these names and they plug them into your awesome content, and they build trust and they build relationship until that person becomes hot and then buys. If you don't have a seller, you're doing this, right? But here's the thing. If you have a broken system, at the end of the day, this isn't going to happen. So top of funnel is growing the audience by 20 leads per day. Most of you said at the beginning of this that you're not doing 20 leads a day and you have mostly consumers. So guess what that means? That means you're not bringing in enough of these to generate this or this here, right? So you're probably not doing this, and you're definitely probably not doing that because you're frustrated because this isn't happening, even though you're trying to grow leads, right? Where are you? Here's what I want you to tell me in the comments. I want you to tell me in the comments what part of this 3-step system for you is broken. Is it the top of your funnel, bringing in those 20 quality leads every day? Is it your middle of the funnel? You don't have a pipeline to get them here, to consume in, build in trust and relationships so you can get them qualified? Or is it the database where you at the bottom of the funnel, where you're taking them into a sales conversation and they're raising their hand saying, I need that solution you offer. What's the next step? Where are we, guys? Let's take a look. All right, so far I see lots of top of funnel. And isn't it crazy that we have all these platforms and billions of people on the internet. And one of the things most entrepreneurs struggle with is growing their audience, right? Isn't that crazy? All right, guys, I want to see some more comments. I know we've got probably a little delay, but I want to see more of you here. Tell me in the comments, is it top of funnel leads? Is it middle of the funnel with your pipeline? Is it bottom of your database? Or is it all? Yeah, Caroline said all sections are kind of murky. Cool. Yep, Angela said leads plus everything else. Yeah, okay. And that might be the case for some of you guys, right? Okay. So this makes sense to you guys, right? You understand that if you have a system, I always tell my clients, guys, I had a cohort call, coaching call this week with my clients, and we did a strategic advisory. And one of the things I talked about on that was how you can have a strategy, right? You can have a strategy, but if you don't have a system to plug that strategy into, you need to have a system. This is a system. These are strategies. Content is a strategy. Social media is a strategy. These are all strategies. But this here, this triangle is a system. If you don't have a system to plug this strategy into, how does the strategies work? How do we get the strategies to work if they're not plugged into like a step-by-step system? Does that make sense? And it's the same thing. You can have a system with no strategy. It's not going to work. You've got to have a system to plug your strategy into, and it needs to be a system that you or your social sellers can do over and over and over and over until you master it. Until this 1 to 2 sales becomes easy peasy every week. It's predictable. 20 leads a day are flowing into that Facebook group or your email list at minimum, easily. And this right here, people are raising their hand and asking you, please reach out to me about working with you. Please reach out to me. Not you reaching out to people. People saying, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me and tell me how to work with you. Then you have these hot qualified people in your buyers daily. Make sense? Julia said, this is exactly my struggle. I tried many systems and they all look like separate parts. Nope. Yep. Perfect. I get that. I get that because that used to be me, Julia. And that's like 90% of my clients. It's one system that flows. Remember what was the title of this? Stackable sales system. It stacks on top. One leads to the other. Remember, top of funnel to the middle of the funnel, middle to the bottom. The bottom becomes a buyer. It is a 3-part system. And one leads to the next. This 20 leads a day creates 1 to 2 sales a week for you. But if we're not doing this, then we can't have this happen. And if you're not doing this, you're not building enough conversations because there's not enough people watching your content. And because there's not enough conversations, there's nobody saying, reach out to me and tell me how to buy your stuff. So we still don't have this. Understand? It is a system it's not complicated. Grow your audience by 20 people a day. Plug them into a very simple, and I can't stress this. If you're someone creating a boatload of content and you're not making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, stop doing that. It's not about creating more content. This content needs to be strategic, right? Strategic and intentional. And it needs to do 90% of the selling. Content, 90%. Okay? This is what I teach my profitable entrepreneurs. You're going to create a few pieces a week, 2 or 3, and they're going to do this for you because you're going to do them the way I tell you to do them, and they're going to do this for you. And then you pull them down here, and we get this happening right here so that this can happen and buyers can happen. Who's loving it? Give me some fire emojis if you're like, this is amazing. So it's a very simple system that you need to plug your strategies into. Okay? Guys, if you're just joining, this board looks ridiculous. Look at this. This looks so crazy. But it's very simple. Okay? Let's see what's going on. Yeah, Caroline agrees with Julia. Caroline said one even flow that allows us to serve our clients is what we need. Yes. Suzanne says amazing. Fire emojis from Denise. Awesome, ladies. Okay. I'm going to give you guys the workbook. If you want the workbook to this, it's basically just showing you your funnel. It's showing you what we need to be doing, kind of what we covered here. Okay. It's going to show you that. Awesome, Andrew. Thank you for all that. So this is what you need to do. Okay. And now what I want to do is just erase it. I want to erase it for a minute, guys, because it looks very chaotic and messy. And I want to show you just this thing here, okay? And if you guys have questions, put them in the comments, okay? I got a couple minutes, so let me see what time it is. Okay, I got like 5 minutes. I can answer a couple questions. If you have a question, put it in the comments. Okay, I got about 5 minutes. Okay. I don't know if I erased all that. Is that good? You guys can see that? Let me check. Okay, perfect. All right. All right, let me use this. Remember, okay? I have no idea. What does that look like? Okay, you guys can see it? This is all you have to do, okay? The top of the funnel, 20 leads a day, okay? 20 leads a day. Drop those 20 leads to the middle of your funnel, okay? Drop those 20 leads to the middle of your funnel. Content, trust, relationship. Yeah, we got that? Down to the bottom of your funnel. This is the bottom. And your biggest funnel is going to be up here, okay? Not here, okay? Down here, qualify, right? Qualify, continue to do this. Qualify, sales conversations, and I don't care if you do it in the DM or on calls or how you do it. My clients do it all the ways, right? And sell the solution. This is where the money happens, right here. It's not happening up here. These two things lead. That's how we're going to simplify what I just taught, right? But I had to take you through the process because I need you to understand the importance of these three and how they go together. Top of the funnel, middle, down to the bottom. You're dropping them in. You're dropping them in. This is a database, right? So you have to work these from the hot, warm, and cold, right? This is your database. This is your pipeline. And these are your leads. Does this make sense to everybody? Okay, let's do a couple minutes of some Q&A. If you guys have questions, drop them now. Get them in the comments, guys. I will come back, though, also, because I know we're going to have a lot of replayers. I will come back and answer everybody's questions if you put it in the comments. Okay, drop it in the comments if this makes sense and if you have any questions. Now, I'm going to tell you, we have a couple things going on, so a couple cool announcements, and you guys can pick and choose what works for you and what makes sense for where you're at. Number one, we have a free workshop, okay? It kicks off Monday, so next week, and we go live for 5 days, just like this. I'm going to be live, and I'm going to be teaching you how do you design, how do you launch, and how do you deliver an exceptional high-ticket group coaching program that is going to create, obviously, buyers, one-to-many, and it's also going to allow you to scale stackable recurring revenue. And also, it's going to give clients exceptional experience and results. So if you have a program right now and you don't have a high retention, so maybe you have clients that are not renewing, they're not ascending, and they're dropping off, and you're constantly replacing, or maybe you have clients that don't get results, right? We're going to show you how to design and deliver that program. Maybe you have a phenomenal program and your clients are getting great results and they renew and they ascend and they move into all your things and they stay with you for a while, but maybe you don't have enough coming in to get enough people in the paid program. We have a free workshop. Okay, so type in workshop if you want us to send you the link to register, we kick off Monday. If that makes sense for you, okay? If that does not make sense to you, don't worry about it. The second thing is last week's live show. Last week's live show, I walked you through this part right here. I actually shared my screen and I showed you how we take the people that have come into our group and we get them to the bottom of the funnel. Okay? And I also created a DM guide that walks you through this whole process. And we've been sharing that. We've had over 200 people sign up for that. If you want last week's replay and the DM guide, just put in the comments, DM guide and replay. I'll hook you right up. We'll tag you in the replay and we'll email you the guide. So just put replay and DM guide. Replay and DM guide if you want that. That's the second thing I got for you guys. Okay, those are all free. You just tell me what you want in the comments and we will get it to you. Third thing that we have for you guys. Yeah, awesome, Caroline, we will get that to you. Third thing that we have for you guys is I have my 6-month program. It's called the Profitable Entrepreneur. We take you through this, but we also do a series of other things. We don't only help you set this up and build this out, but we also help you make sure your offer is super sellable and it literally sells the solution that is on the mind of your buyer, not on your mind. So we help you figure out what is it that your clients want so bad so we can sell. So we help you set up all this. We help you set up your offers. We help you price them and package them. How do we sell them? We teach you different launch conversions. We have like 3. We have promo cycles. We have the signature profit launch. We have cash injections. We have a lot of different conversions events that we teach you. And it depends on your offer. It depends on your price, on how do we launch it, right? How do you launch your offers and sell in between this? Okay, so we teach you all of that. The goal in that program, it's high-level coaching, so you're placed in a cohort, depending on your stage of business. So if you're selling high-ticket one-on-one, we're going to put you with our boutique. You'll go in the cohort of boutique. If you are in a one-to-many, so if you have a one-to-many group program that you want to scale to $500,000 of recurring revenue, then we put you with our Ascenders group. And we teach you how to launch and all of that stuff and sell out that program, but also design it so that 80% of your income comes from current clients so that you're not replacing, okay? That's the Profitable Entrepreneur Program. It's a 6-month program. Right now, it's $500 a month, which is insane. I don't think we've ever offered it at that price. It is going up. That is by application only, because if you're not qualified, if you don't have the mindset to come in and do the work and be successful and to show up and all of that, it's not going to be for you and you're not going to get results. So we actually deny a lot of applications. But if you think you're all in on your business and you're not messing around and you're serious and you want to get systems behind your strategy and you want to make sure your strategies are profitable and you want those 1 to 2 sales a week with a system that, here's the thing, this system right here, guys, here's what's cool. This whole system right here, this whole thing is 100% delegatable. What does that mean? I don't do this. I don't do this. I don't do this anymore. My sales team does all of this. I coach. I teach. I get interviewed. I'm the visionary. I don't do these. The cool thing about what we teach you is that you're only going to do this until it's making you money and it works. And I'm going to show you how to hire and train social sellers to do all of it for you. How cool is that? That's what we teach in the program. Okay, it's going to take you some time to come in and get all this going and working so that we can get team behind it. But that's the vision in the program. So if you are someone who wants to see if you qualify to win big inside the Profitable Entrepreneur Program, just comment below Profitable Entrepreneur Program. And we will reach out to you with the link to the application. We'll ask you a couple questions, okay? We're going to ask you a couple questions. If we think that you could do it, if we think you might be a good fit and you're serious, you're really not messing around, you want to add 2 to 500K this year of recurring revenue to what you're making now. If you're not messing around and you're serious, you'll win in the program. And we'll get you the application. And then I will personally review those with my team. And if you're a fit, we'll reach out and show you how to get enrolled. If you're not, then we'll let you know what maybe would be a better next step for you, or maybe what you need to get in place in order for this to work for you. Okay, so just put profitable entrepreneur in the comments below if that's something that you want, and we will do that. Okay, let me see. I think we had a question. Jenna said, so how are you supposed to get those 20 leads each day? Well, we teach you that in the program, but you're using your social media, right? So how are you getting leads now? Are you giving away guides? Are you inviting people to a Facebook group? Are you inviting people to a weekly live show like this? Like, what are you doing on social media? I did have another one. You guys are already on social media, right? Are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, right? What are you doing? Are you giving away guides? Are you doing a live show? Right? So guides would be a hand raiser post. We teach all this in the program, hand raiser posts, right? Live show. Are you a group invitation? This is the thing. A lot of people are stuck right here. Right here. And getting people here because you're over here, you're doing all this, but you're not doing your blanket selling, right? You're just going on social media and you're just promoting and sharing content and tips and all that. You need to have strategic, intentional content that pulls people from here, to here, then to here, and to here. So the way that you grow your audience is you need to have a strategic content schedule, and that content needs to be designed to call out over here, champion leads, high quality leads, and pull them over here and have them saying, yes, I'm raising my hand. Yes, I want that. Tell me more. How do I get that? How do I do that? Where do I sign up? How do I join? How do I register? This content needs to do that for you. Otherwise, you're just chasing the people of the internet. You're never going to create sales that way, right? It'll take forever. Okay, does all this make sense? Was today helpful for you guys? Tell me if today was helpful in the comments. If this was kind of an eye-opener to maybe what you've been taught or what you're currently doing, and you were able to see some gaps. Right? Was this helpful today? And again, comment if you want to register for the workshop, you can comment workshop. If you want to register for the DM guide and the replay of last week's show, just put DM guide and replay. If you want the workbook for what we covered here today, type workbook. And if you want to know how to join the Profitable Entrepreneur Program, or if you are cut out to be a Profitable Entrepreneur Program, just type Profitable Entrepreneur below and we will let you know. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad this was helpful for you guys. So just a reminder, we go live every week right here in the group, okay, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. Most of my people put it in their calendar so that they don't miss it. We go live every week with a show based on what you guys are saying you need help with. Yeah, Angela said workshop, all the things. Yeah, Angela, we'll reach out and get you everything you need. So we go live every week, guys, 11 a.m. Eastern right here in the group. If you can't make it, we have a replay, but you got to let us know that you want the replay because we're not going to reach out about it otherwise. So you got to let us know that you want it. I hope this was helpful. Come back and watch us a couple times, guys. We are definitely going to be continuing this conversation. Let's see, Suzanne said, how much time daily is realistic to put in work-wise? Yes, so this whole system right here is anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day. And if you don't have 2 to 4 hours, guys, you don't run a business, right? 2 to 4 hours a day is all of this. And then obviously you have your coaching, right? It's 2 to 4 hours a day. Once you have sellers, this is their full-time job. They do this all day. But you as a business owner with your coaching and other things that you have going on, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, this could be done. But you need to be structured. You need to have a system. You need to have a step-by-step. Listen, we do the same thing every week. We do the same single thing. We follow a system and a strategy. Every week it's the same thing. We already know what we're doing every single week before the week starts. Okay. So if you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants and every day and every week you're doing something different and you don't have a strategy, you don't have a system, you're not going to generate sales. And this will take you 8-10 hours a day. But realistically, it takes 2 to 4, depending on your goals and depending on how active and nurtured and qualified your current audience is. All right. It shouldn't take more than that if you're doing it right. All right, guys, this has been fantastic. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. You guys have the replay to this here in the group. We will reach out with whatever you guys had requested. If you have questions about anything, send me a private message, a DM. I love DMs. We will talk. We will chat. We'll make sure you're hooked up and served and you have what you need. I'll see you guys all here next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern for next week's training. Bye, everybody.